Yo, what is it, good boys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I ended up making around $4,000 trading IQ, and we're going to do a full trade recap. Pretty much the reason why I took this trade, all my confluences, how I found my bias, how I took my entry, literally everything that you need to know to understand how I made $4,000 today trading my Topstep funded accounts here. And yeah, pretty simple setup here off of Asia Open. We opened up lower. If we actually take a look here on the trading view chart, I'm going to break this down in more detail. But yeah, this is going to be a short and sweet type of trade recap for today. So before we get into this video, hit that like button as well as subscribe if you're new here. Also, make sure to watch this video all the way until the end because I promise you there's probably going to be something that you learn from this video. So yeah, all that aside, let's get right into it. So overall, if we hop over to trading view, it was a very simple model that I took here right off of Asia Open. 6 p.m. open was right here, and I did wait for my Asia kill zone to trade. So usually if I'm trading Asia session, it'll usually be 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. EST, or if I don't get a setup or if I get hit break even, then I'll trade 8 to 9 p.m. EST. But usually I get my model right at 6 p.m. EST or around 6 to 7 p.m. EST for my entry, and then I just hold it. So overall, we had a 6 p.m. manipulation lower to the downside. Also, if we take a look at ES here, we actually did have a SMT here as well. Let's take a look right here. It was a bit scuffed of a SMT for sure, but we were SMT'd up at this low. Very scuff ass SMT, but we did have actually an SMT right there, as well as we opened up lower into OTE of this higher time frame range. So if we actually zoom out, pull a fib from this low to this high of this obvious range that we actually have, you can see we actually tapped the 618 level, as well as also I had an only ticks level right here as well. Most importantly, looking at the weekly time frame, I was very bullish on the week because we actually took out previous week low. So if we mark up previous week low right here, we're going to do our full top down analysis right here. Took out previous week low right there. And if you're not sure what previous day low actually is, it's just that previous week low swept out liquidity. There was a lot of orders resting here below that ended up getting taken out. So once that got taken out, higher time frame, we started to distribute to the upside pretty much. And you can see right now we're kind of running towards this previous week high that we actually have above. And as you guys know, I always like to do a very detailed higher time frame analysis, because if you understand the higher time frame, then the lower time frame entry will play out more times than not, and the probabilities of you winning your trade will be in your favor as well. Looking at the daily, looks like we had a bullish closure here. Previous day did close bearish. We did actually reject OTE of this range that we had on the daily time frame as well. We tapped into 705, strong ass wicks out, right? These wicks, they tell a big ass story. We didn't displace below OTE, we didn't close below it, we rejected OTE. So this kind of tells me that we're having reactions off of bullish PD rays. So we're respecting bullish PD rays, disrespecting bearish PD rays, right? So going down to the 4 hour, right now we went weekly, daily, 4 hour, and I'm kind of determining my bias, determining the trend in general. And once again here, looking at the 4 hour time frame, we rejected that OTE, right? Closing to the upside, we had a pullback into what? Pullback into OTE right here. We did not close below OTE, but we rejected OTE, right? Closing to the upside, shifting structure above these highs. Once again, shifting structure again. What is shifting structure? It's pretty much just when price closes above a wick, just like that, right? So shifted structure above this high as well on the 4 hour time frame, a very significant, a very high time frame. And we have these pullbacks. On these pullbacks, we have all of these rejections out, right? And these wicks in general on the 4 hour time frame are telling me a lot. They're telling me that we're not really accepting back into this range below to continue price down, but we're actually rejecting all of these levels that we have here. We had OTE right here. We have equilibrium that got hit, reacted out, equilibrium hit, reacted out, equilibrium hit, reacted out. And these wicks are really telling me a big story right here. So right now, based on the weekly, daily, 4 hour time frames, I'm very bullish. Looking at the hourly as well, also bullish. Shifting structure to the upside, 3 p.m. closed bullish, 4 p.m. closed bearish, but this 3 p.m. closure actually did put in a eye kebab as well right here, kind of shifting structure above that kebab that we had. If you guys don't know what a kebab is, it's just a concept that I like to use. 3 candlestick pattern, all that it is a down close candle, up close, down close. It's like the sandwich here. You can see when we retapped it, we had a reaction out pretty much. Also, as you guys already know, I like to look at SMTs a lot. Here we had an SMT with ES to the upside as well. So a bullish SMT right there just gave me even more confidence that we want to run to the upside. If we pull a fib just like this, you can see respecting 50% of the range, right? Respected OTE, respected 50%, rejecting, and closing to the upside, right? So that's how I kind of got my higher time frame narrative. And then right at 6 p.m. open, I was pretty much looking for long. So also looking at this, we actually also had a 30-minute imbalance that was around my entry. So right here, we had a 30-minute rebalance, which got tapped into. We had this imbalance that we were pretty much holding. We were rejecting it, right? And this gave me even more confidence that we would continue to trend to the upside. So going down to the 15-minute time frame, as well as we were also in this 15-minute gap, and we're also rejecting off of this bullish structure that we had here to the left as well. And then also on the 5-minute chart, I looked for one of my only ticks levels, which is just an indicator that I like to use in my trading. It's basically like institutional levels that I trade off of. If I have a level that is aligned with my bias, aligned with OTE, or aligned with other rejection zones that I like in general, then I'll use that as my entry as well. So yeah, scaling down to the 1-minute time frame as well. Right at 6 p.m. open, what I pretty much was looking for was exactly what happened. So this was the reason why I took this trade, was because exactly what I wanted to happen pretty much happened, right? 6 p.m. manipulated lower into an only ticks level, as well as we had a SMT at this low. We were also rejecting higher time frame OTE. If we pull our fib, let's clean up our chart a little bit. It is a little bit messy right now. But if we actually pull our fib from this low to this obvious high, you can see we actually rejected 618 of the range as well. This low was a SMT, so we kind of had the fuel to continue price to the upside. Also here in the past, we had this low, high, lower low, higher high. We had a breaker block here. That was kind of a zone that I did like as well. You can see how price was tapping into this zone. We were just kind of reacting at it. And this being at my entry just made the setup even better pretty much. But the main things that I liked with this setup in general was, one, we had a very strong higher time frame bias to the upside on the weekly, the daily, 4-hour, hourly. Everything was pointing to the upside. Every time frame was aligned. And then on the lower time frame, we also had time aligned. So we had 6 p.m. open up lower. We had an SMT at the low. We had a 30-minute gap holding. We had this breaker block, as well as we had an only ticks level. And for targets, we had these beautiful market maker buy model relative equal highs here above. So we had basically a clean market maker buy model, as well as these were relative equal highs. So yeah, for my stop loss as well, in Asia, usually I'll run a 12.5 point stop loss. I was risking around $240 with one contract. So yeah, overall, that's really pretty much it for this video. Just wanted to keep it nice and short and sweet. But yeah, overall, the way that I trade is I align the higher time frames, the weekly, daily, 4-hour, hourly, 15-minute, lower time frames, and then I enter on the lower time frames like the 5-minute or the 1-minute based on pullbacks into key zones, key rejection zones that I pretty much have. I use OTE a lot. I use my indicator as well that gives me institutional levels that pretty much bottom tick. And for targets, I just target simple liquidity points. And also I really liked this wick that we actually had. It did kind of look like a data wick. I know that this wasn't a data wick, or this could have been news, honestly. This was a beautiful ass target that we had. So we had these kind of stacked highs here, which was my main TP, and honestly could have held this a bit more for sure. But yeah, shoulda, woulda, coulda held it. But that was my low hanging fruit pretty much for the session, was just these obvious highs that we actually had. So that's where I ended up taking profit for around a 1 to 3.38 RR. That's a very, very clean base hit. Overall was a very clean ass day. Also, I know that my camera just went dark, but I wanted to give a huge ass shout out to Tom, one of my students who's been working with me one-on-one, just secured his first ever prop firm payout for around $4,000, which honestly for his first ever payout, that's a really good payout. So yeah, super proud of him. He's been putting in the work. I basically gave him my risk systems, my psychology systems, and everything that he needed. His main issue was his psychology. So once we really dialed in that aspect of his trading, that's when he started to see those payouts come in. I'll be documenting as he grows as a trader as well, because I'm still going to be coaching him even after he got his first ever payout. I'm going to be helping him grow as a trader. I'm going to help him scale. And as he actually starts to copy trade, that's when he's actually going to start making more and more money. Also, if you currently are a trader who's not really where you want to be in your trading, if you keep blowing evaluations, you keep blowing your funded account, you keep crashing out, you keep stressing the hell out of yourself, I currently have a program where I guarantee to work with you one-on-one until you're funded, max allocation with a prop firm, and receive your first ever prop firm payout. So if you're interested in working with me one-on-one and you want to actually avoid all of the mistakes that I made when I started out as a trader, you can apply in the first link in the description below. And yeah, if you guys watch this all the way until the end, drop a W in the comments below or ask any trading questions that you may have about psychology, about technicals. Also hit that like button, really helps the channel grow. If you guys are new here, hit that subscribe button. Till next time, love you all, trade safe, don't crash out, stay disciplined, and yeah, love you all, peace out.